full of energy as they head out onto the floor to start this game. China versus Puerto Rico, our last game in this Olympic qualifying tournament here in Xi'an. These two teams are both qualified for the Olympics in Paris come July, but they have one last task to take care of here at Shanxi Provincial Gymnasium. Welcome to Xi'an in China for the final game of the Women's Olympic qualifying tournament, where China and Puerto Rico are going head-to-head, and it's going to be China with first possessions, as in the capable hands of Han Xu. She's triple teamed, so has to go to Wang. Han gets another chance, can't make it count, and this time gets the crowd on their feet.
It was good to see her continue with posting up there and second efforts. That's what they're going to need.
It's a big height differential between these two teams, so she's set to play a big part tonight. Girantes can't convert the first for Puerto Rico. Wang steps back. Girantes off and running. Aurelia coming off a fantastic performance last night. 10. Rosado gets the first shot to go for Puerto Rico.
Rosado, the smallest player on the court, was able to shoot over a long reaching hand.
Li Meng steps back on Benitez and gets her first points of the night.
And that's something she will do all night. Take advantage of any sort of mismatch that is out there.
Top scored for the team last night with 21 points. Is the top scorer in the Olympic tournament at the moment. 7.5 points per game. Benitez driving. Huang rebounding. Li running to Zhang. Has to collect it. And then we'll head to the line.
Well, that is exactly the style of play that we know China can produce, and we didn't see a lot of it last night against France, and that's rebound and run. Push the ball up the floor. Kick ahead it was to Li Meng, who then looked inside for her teammate Zhang Ru.
Zhang didn't score last night. She'll be hoping to get off the mark with this second free throw. The crowd giving her a bit of a push. In fact, yet to score all tournament. Zhang Ru didn't score against New Zealand either. And still can't get off the mark. And we know those free throws played a big part in last night's game between New Zealand and Puerto Rico. Teams need to sharpen that up before Paris. Hollingshed shot the lights out last night. Wang. Han got fouled. The points.
Referees are saying that she got fouled before the shot. She wasn't.
I thought he had the count signal. So shot won't count. Still a 2-point lead for China. Huang, Han, beautiful.
Great job. That was such a good pass, high in the air to Han Xu, just into her hands. She's got great hands and was able to finish softly.
Girantes had to fight hard for that one. Pulls up, falls short. And you can see Han Xu already up to the 4 points for the game. Wang wants a piece of it.
Well, you could see again in that last action, Han Xu, once she got that rebound, she just straight away got it into the hands of Wang Suyu, who pushed it up the floor, and looking at her options, finds herself at the free throw line.
Had the 3 points and 3 assists last night. A quiet night by her standards, but she's got on the board already. 6 points and 6 assists against New Zealand on Thursday. And she goes 2 from 2 at the line. Rosado asking for some movement from her team. Have had some open looks, just not able to knock as many down as they would like. Girantes putting the body on Wong, but it didn't work. And Wong steaming up the floor to Zhang. And again a foul's called.
I think Zhang Ru would be disappointed that she didn't finish that on the left-hand side. She just needed to go up a little bit more strongly. It was a great pass.
So it's already China's 3rd trip to the free throw line early on in this game. And Rosado's 2nd foul.
Oh my goodness, I think all teams in this competition need to work on their free throws.
I know it's a bugbear of yours and of many people watching on, I'm sure. And you can see Rosado with the 2 fouls, but also Hollingshed already with the 2 fouls. So they've got to watch themselves here, Puerto Rico. Quinones, Rosado, 3 is short.
Good effort by Garantes just to get her hand in there and then knock it off a player in a red jersey.
A loopy pass to Quinones to try and get this started here for Puerto Rico. Rosado. Girantes. A nice finish, her first points of the game.
Really good pin down action. Garantes coming off of that, caught the ball, ripped it baseline, was a nice finish.
Wang now. Huang loves this range and drops it.
That never looked like missing from her hand. It was a nice finish, a nice follow through.
She's a fantastic 3-point shooter, Huang Sujing. She's found the bottom of the net on plenty of occasions this season. Girantes spinning on Huang now and goes back to back.
That's one of the things that Garantes loves to do, and that would be in the scout notes, that she likes to spin at the end of a drive.
Li Mong, tell you what, this should be in the scout notes too. That is funny.
Absolutely in the scout notes. Li Mong, 3-point shooter. Actually, she can score from so many different ways. As I mentioned earlier, she can post up in mismatches or shoot the 3.
She could also steal. We saw a good steal on the other end as well. Defensively, I thought she's improved as the tournament's gone on. Quinones into Rosado. Girantes looked at it. Then Huang got in the way. Wang has Zhang up ahead and makes no mistake this time. A great start from the China team. It forces a timeout on the floor. China 16, leading Puerto Rico 6.
Great way to get the crowd involved into the game. A couple of fast break opportunities, a 3-point shot from Li Mong.
A block from Han Shu, as we just saw as well, and then Zhang finishing it off on the other end. And a great find by Wang as well, always with the eyes up ahead. Here's Coach Batista. Here's the big 3 from Li Mong. Got the crowd up on their feet. A fan favorite here in Xi'an and around the world for that matter. She just knows how to hit him. And Coach Zhang Wei happy with that one too. Li Meng up to 5 points for the game already, hasn't missed.
And you can see that China are in this extended pressure. They want to pick up full court. They want to, that's a good indication that they want to really make sure that they're active and playing good defense straight away. In a zone now.
Oh, and it's paid off. A good move out of the timeout.
And you'll often see that out of a timeout, a coach will change up the defense, and then maybe they'll say we'll do it for one time. Maybe they'll say we'll do it until they score. But a good change up by China.
Let's see if they can capitalize offensively. The 3 by Li and the 2 by Zhang before the timeout. It means they're on a 5-0 run at the moment. Here is Li Meng. Instead drives on Quinones, offensive foul. We've seen that a few times from Li Meng this tournament, just charging into that defender.
Well, great read by Quinones just to hold her ground there, knowing that she wanted to go left, stay on her left.
The referees have picked that up every time. Melendez on the floor for Puerto Rico. Shoves it into Girantes with the pass. Quinones. Sort of a bit of a nothing shot in the end, I think.
Well, I think it was I think it was the fact that she could see that Han Xu was just waiting there to perhaps block it, so she didn't want to go too deep in there, but really not a great shot selection.
Huang wants Li Meng, finds Han. Now Li Meng spins and shoots. Card score. Good to see Alison Gibson out there. A big night last night on the boards. A lot of offensive rebounds. Here she is now with the ball in hand. You can hear but Coach Batista saying, keep moving, keep moving.
And again, it was the right baseline move by Melendez, but Han Xu's just there to intimidate.
What a spin from Wang. Deserved the finish. Sorry, Laurie, that was great. Girantes, the M1. Really strong drive by Aurelia Girantes. One of the strongest players in this pool. You just know she's going to go hard every time she's got the ball in her hand.
Well, she is. She's she's not only a good scorer. We know that she can shoot the 3, but she sees the floor really well. She's a good distributor. She's a good facilitator. And she can match anything physically.
7 points for her tonight already. Puerto Rico have 9 points as a team. Young Li Wei onto the floor. We know she didn't start in that opening game and didn't start again tonight. Coming off the bench for some impact. Huang, speaking of impact.
Nice little floater from Huang Xijing.
And we see Alana Smith enter the game. Trying to find a lane here. Trying her best to keep it back there. We're trying to have too many singlets running back. Too many red jerseys. Han Xu!
She's shooting the ball with much more confidence tonight. She was up against some much taller timber in the French team, but she's looking good out there right now. Good positioning, good finish.
6 points tonight. She only had the 4 last night in total. Gibson was screaming for it. She gave it to Smith in the end.
Wow. Oh, I was going to say, if that went in, that was over the long stretch arms of Han Xu.
Huang to Wang now. You can see Li Yulu getting ready to come on the floor. We speak about the like for like when we speak about France coming off it on the bench, but China equally have some really good options with Li Yuru and Li Yuan both coming on.
I guess so. Li Yuru last night had 8 points, 8 rebounds. She's averaging 12 for the tournament, so she's been very, very effective. She started last night, came off the bench the first game, came off the bench this game, but has really had an impact wherever she's playing.
And Narimar Vargas coming onto the floor for Puerto Rico as well. Didn't see her at all last night, so good to see her getting some minutes today alongside Sofia Roma. Girantes can't get it to go. And the speed of Li Yuan on display. Pulls up, knocks it down.
Little shake and bake there and a pull-up J. Looking good for Li Yuan.
Girantes trying to find Roma. Young Li Wei doesn't have much ahead of her. So she'll wait for the cavalry to float back. Li Yuru into Li Yuan. Huang. Li was patient from China, but just couldn't be finished off. Leading 22-9. A minute left in this term.
It's actually been pretty frenetic, going both ways. Certainly that's the intent of China, is to push the ball. You can just see whenever they get the rebound, they're looking to get it into their guards' hands and have the other players streaking down the sidelines.
A show of respect. They know what Puerto Rico can do when they get going. They're putting the clamps on them early. Girantes stepping back. A really nice look.
That was strong from Girantes.
We know she got into foul trouble early on last night, so it impacted her ability a bit at the start, but then she just came alive, and she's doing so again here. 9 points already, 4 from 9 from the field. We're going to see some subs come onto the floor for Puerto Rico. Jones and Pagan in for their first minutes of the night. Rosado has led this Puerto Rican team brilliantly as captain. Bounce pass to Girantes. Oh, Li Yuru!
I was just about to say great backdoor cut, but even a better block by Li Yuru.
That was vicious. Young Li Wei now. Zhang Ru wanted to give Li some reward offensively, but there was a foul called.
That pass just needed to be a little bit higher in the air, just away from the defender. You know, trust your bigs, but look at that cut, but look at that block.
Li Yuru says, not here, not in front of my home fans. And she's at the line now for 2. And the crowd, of course, comes to a hush.
I know, I'm amazed with this many people in the arena. It's like being at tennis or golf where you have to be quiet when they're shooting the ball compared to when the opposition are shooting. It's nice and loud.
And we're the only ones talking, it
I
feels
know.
like. Feels like we have to be quiet too. Li Yuan. Oh, beautiful finding of space, and Li Yuru couldn't quite beat the buzzer. But I think there's going to be 2 shots to come. The referees will just confirm that in the middle now. Lee's lining up. She thinks she's got it.
That's always a good sign. Pressure point. I was fouled.
Yep. Assert your dominance. So I think the foul's being confirmed. It's just about how much is going to be left on the clock. So Li Yuru at the line. Her second time at the free throw line. 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Last time they met Puerto Rico, actually, that was her stats. Of course, last night against France, the 8 points and the 8 rebounds. And a double-double first up, 16 points and 12 rebounds against New Zealand. So a really consistent tournament for her. And there's the difference in the noise.
That's right.
So second point for the night. And 0.2 seconds left on the clock once this, I was going to say drops, but she missed that one. But either way, a really good opening quarter from the Chinese team. A much better start than what they had last night against France. 24 points to 11 is their lead over this Puerto Rican team. This buzzing ticket to Paris.
Well, she's got 9 out of the 11 points so far. Hollingshed's been quiet. We know she lit it up last night.
No points for Hollingshed, just the 1 rebound. As we tip off the second period, China leading by 13 points. Jones, this would be a nice early look, and she drains it.
China were in a zone. They were doing lots of talking, but just didn't protect that baseline shot of Jones, and she was able to find the bottom of the net.
Jones joined on court by Rosado, Vargas, Hollingshed, and Girantes. Liuru. Liuan has a look. Might get it back here. She does. It was good hustle. The importance of following through on your shot. Part into the game. Can she make an instant impact? That's a fantastic drive with authority.
She was calling for that ball on the wing. When it got into her hands, straight away she drove it in.
Can Jones go back to back now? Hollingshed hasn't scored this game,
there we
and
go.
there it is.
That's what we wanted. That's what we asked for. That's what she did in the previous games, and they're going to need her to do that if they want to keep this game close.
I mean, it was only a matter of time before Maya Hollingshed inserted herself into the game. 20 points and 14 rebounds against New Zealand last night. Lee Yuru trying to go back at her at the other end, gets her own rebound, and will head to the line once again.
That was a nice downhill penetration by Liu Ru. She was quick on that. Haven't seen a lot of that, her putting it to the deck from that foul line area, but that was impressive.
And it means she's at the free throw line once again. The Puerto Rican defense are really struggling to defend her right now. The smaller lineup means fouls might come against the two, or more than 2 tall players out there for China.
Well, I feel like too the perimeter players, the guards, they just need to get it up in the air. There's such a height advantage. Just get it up in the air. Let them go find that ball, search out that ball, and catch it. Both Liu Ru and Han Xiu really have good hands.
And to Puerto Rico's credit, they're making Liu Ru earn her points tonight. 3 from 5 at the free throw line already. Hollingshed can't go back to back. So it allows Li Yuan to run. Young into Li Yuru. Gets around Quinones with ease.
Now that was an assertive move by Li Yuru. She just caught that ball with authority, spun around, and finished strongly.
Good rebound there by Zhang. She's been crashing the boards hard tonight. And here she is on transition, getting fouled. Jones didn't quite expect the pace coming at her.
Well, it's nice to see Zhang Ru running, getting rewarded, but that finish by Liu Ru was really nice.
And a round of applause as Li Mong comes back onto the floor. 5 points, 2 from 3 from the field. Zhang Ru puts the first one down. What a luxury it is having someone like Li Mong coming off the bench to provide that spark in the second period. Girantes now, speaking of spark. Up to 9 points for the game. Rosado. Searching, finding Jones. She pulls up. She's been great from three-point range tonight.
Well, she came off of that, debated whether to pass it or kick it on, decided to shoot it, and paid dividends.
6 points tonight, just the 3 last night for Brianna Jones. Lee Mong! The 4-point play!
What a great use of the flare screen. Lee Mong, she caught that in rhythm. It had a really quick release here. And then just the follow through. Brianna Jones, first of all, looked at the shot that went in and then looked at the referee for making that call.
She can't quite get the 4 points, but Lee Yuru, oh my goodness, it's showtime here in Xi'an.
This is what this capacity crowd came to see. Their team play the way they know they can play.
Don't know how Lee Yuru got that shot up. It was sort of an over-the-head reverse. All sorts of fun under the rim. Here she is at the line. Converting the 3-point play. Holingshed's third foul. Rosado steps into it. And Lee into Lee Wan. She thinks about a 3 of her own. Then gives it to Pan for a go. Jones. Rosado. Hollingshed. See some good passing by Puerto Rico. Jones lets it go. Brianna Jones.
She is shooting that ball with such confidence. Just a nice quick bailout pass by Rosado to Jones, and she was ready to shoot that.
3 from 3 from three-point range for Brianna Jones, and it's forced a China timeout. They still lead 37 points to 23, but what a nice look this was for Brianna Jones.
That's the thing, when you've just made a 3 and you're now given the chance to shoot another one on a little flip pass behind, she was ready to take it and took advantage of it.
Here's Coach Zhang Wei. What a stat on screen. 4 from 6 from three-point range this quarter for Puerto Rico. China have hit 1 triple and has beat off the hand of Lee Mong. Here's Brianna Jones's 3 looks. First from the corner. That was nice. And then she went up a bit higher. Steps back on Lee Wan. Bang, another one. Thank you very much.
Well, that means the scoreline this quarter is China 13, Puerto Rico 12. So that's a really good stat for Puerto Rico. And see if they can maintain this.
Good to see Jones staying out there. And see if they continue to run some plays for her, Laurie. I know you love when a person's feeling hot to get it in their hands.
Well, keep going till the well until the well dries up, and a player can be confident. And so if you can set up another play and they're wide open, then they've got the green light to shoot that.
So Young Li Wei coming on after that timeout. But for now, it's Li Yuan to bring it down the floor. Li Yuru, the captain, getting in the action for China.
You can see a zone by Puerto Rico.
Li Yuru fouled on the rebound.
Well, she was just using her height there, her outstretched arm. She was just sort of bouncing the ball off her hand.
I think that means it's Hollingshed's 4th foul as well. And it means Puerto Rico are over the limit too. So it's not a good moment here for Puerto Rico after a really positive start of this second period.
Well,
6 minutes left. So.
That happened quickly, going to the bonus in less than 4 minutes. And more importantly, Hollingshed now having to sit on the bench with 4 fouls.
I wonder what that could mean for this game. She was so pivotal last night against New Zealand.
Maybe it means more opportunity for Brianna Jones to, get the ball in her hands, shoot the three.
Lee pops it in. So Rosado with ball in hand. The question on everyone's lips, where's Brianna Jones? Here she is. This time passes it back to Rosado. Quinones, can she get involved? It's been a bit quiet to start. And again, a really awkward shot from her. Li Yuan. Li Yuru. That just trickles out. Jones is going to be careful. She turns it over.
I think she was actually off to the races before she actually got control of the ball, unfortunately for Jones.
Huang Ti Li. Yang Li way for three. A captain's bucket.
Defense went behind the screen. No problem pulling up Yang Li Wei.
Girantes. It's going to be quiet in this second period, but that's because Brianna Jones has just taken over. Let's see what Rosado's got. Quinones. Oh, can't put in both those shots.
Those are the shots they can't afford to miss because they're not going to get any more open than that.
Huang, some good movement. Zhang now. Loved her start to this game. Yang Li Wei for back-to-back triples. Not to be this time. Huang fouled Girantes. She's not quite sure about it. The crowd obviously giving some feedback. Nevertheless, it's 41-23. Yeah, she just tapped her arm.
It's so great to hear this crowd.
You just have to sit back and enjoy it. Puerto Rico, though, I'm sure they wouldn't be enjoying it as much. But Girantes can get some reward for going really hard at the basket there. And both players feeling it. I think Zhang got a bit of a cut to the lip as well. Nevertheless, Girantes at the line.
Lana Smith into the game, and Melendez is waiting on the bench to come in for the shooter if Girantes makes these shots.
Oh, and the crowd's affected the first one. Play for Benetta Famiglia Schio in Italy at the moment. Isabella Girantes is able to convert the second. And there is that sub, Melendez, and also Wang for China replacing Li. So a change in point guards for both China and Puerto Rico. Wang has to get after this one. Huang back there to help. Li. Young. Oh, nice cut by Li Yuru.
They do a great job on any dribble handoffs of using their body once they've passed that ball off as a screen. And what a block there. Going nowhere, Alana Smith.
Gotta be smarter than that against Li Yuru. Here she is on offense against the shorter Melendez. Gets double teamed. That was good by Puerto Rico. Shot clock in single figures. Zhang approaches the basket, then gets the rebound, then finds Wang, who finds Huang. Li backing down. Jones off to the races. Only has Wang up ahead of her, and it affected the shot. It was great defense by Wang Siyu.
But hasn't Brianna Jones just embraced her time on the court right now?
Absolutely right. 9 points, 3 from 3 from three-point range. But just like that, some impact for China coming onto the floor. Li Meng and Han Xu. Coach Zhang Wei sensing a bit of a moment here in the last 3.5 minutes of the opening half. Roma also onto the floor for Puerto Rico. They've got to go. There's 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Smith. Good rebound by Roma. No one saw it coming. Huang up ahead. Couldn't get past Melendez. Good D. Jones with the hot hand into Roma. Quinones has a look. And she was fouled with 2 shots to come.
Oh, that really let them off the hook because that wasn't the best shot to take. And now she goes to the line for 3 shots.
You can see there Wang just with the heavy approach. But a chance for Isalis Quinones to get on the board. She's yet to score tonight. She's had the 4 rebounds. They need her impacting offensively if there's any chance of winning this game from this margin down. Quinones, of course, coming off 10 points and 6 rebounds against New Zealand last night.
We haven't seen much of Benitez so far in this game, just around 4 minutes, and she had 13 points last night against New Zealand, so hopefully nothing's wrong with her. Just the coach trying to utilize different players, give some bench players some minutes, valuable minutes.
We could see her on the bench. You might see it in your screens at home, but she's got her t-shirt on. The rest of the players all their singlets on, so perhaps she's on pretty limited minutes, or maybe her night's done already. Who knows? Like you said, hope it's not anything too serious if it is indeed an injury. We saw in the last game, France didn't use Marine Futux at all. New Zealand didn't use Tedar Reid, McKenna Dale in a moon boot. So all 4 teams trying out some new rotations on the last day here in Xi'an. Wang misses the first one. The crowd giving us some words of encouragement as she knocks down the second one. Smith now with some voice out there. See, China have gone 50% from the free throw line. They've had 20 attempts already tonight. Good D by Law. Wang. Han, a rare 3 attempt. Oh, she knocks it down.
That brought the crowd to their feet.
Shouldn't say a rare 3 attempt. She does like to launch it from that range, but it's always good when she knocks them down. Gibson now, super impressed with her defensive work last night. And look at her running in for the rebound there again, as Melendez was fouled.
One thing if I'm watching really closely on China's defense, they're there, but they don't put a whole lot of pressure. So Puerto Rico are still able to move the ball fairly freely. I'd like to see them just get up a bit more in the lanes, have their hands a little bit more active, because that's the sort of things they need to work on moving forward towards Paris.
The boos affecting the Puerto Rican players at the line. We saw Girantes miss one, and Melendez also go 1 from 2.
Well, over the course of the 2 games, they're 68% from the free throw line.
Not the best stat. Smith spinning on Hahn, but she was never going to get over the top of her.
Yeah, not a good decision, but that's a good decision.
And luckily for Smith, a foul amongst all that. So I think it'll be Pagan that's going to take the 2 shots here. Yep, Huang just reaching over. And chance for India Pagan to get some confidence into her game. The 2 rebounds against China on Thursday, and then just the 2 minutes against New Zealand last night. That was her first points of the tournament, and gets her second as well. And Girantes is going to come on for one last burst in the opening half. 1:33 left. China have brought back in Pan Junchi. And Law Sinu's tasked with bringing the ball down. Li Mong open, steps around Girantes and knocks it down!
That's always so great when a player, the defender goes flying, and instead of driving it in, they just step across, make sure they're at that 3-point line and nail it.
Super clever move by Li Mong. It's become a signature of her game. Melendez over the back to Smith. Can't bake it in. Girantes, a nice offensive rebound amongst all the taller players out there. Hahn this time makes no mistake. Wang up ahead, Lee up ahead of her. Oh, that was a bit of heavy contact between Lee and Melendez. Melendez is down, holding that eye. And Lee just down there to comfort her. That's great sportsmanship. They're never the hits you want to take. And appreciation from the crowd that she's up on her feet. That could have been a lot worse. So just waiting to confirm the subs. I think Melendez is keen to come and get that eye cleaned up. And now Rosado will come on to replace Smith, and Quinones on to replace Melendez. Li Mong at the line. She's just come off a big 3. Li Mong sitting on 11 points for the game. So I think another 2 shots to come. I think someone might have stepped over the line. And she makes no mistake with that extra opportunity. "12 points for Li Mong. She's gone 4 from 5 from the field tonight. Very impressive clip.
She's been really consistent across the course of this tournament, as you would expect from one of their superstars.
Another one could put her hand up for MVP, and amongst Gabby Williams and Marie Johannes of France are probably the picks. Although Girantes is putting her name up in lights. Just hopping on that ankle. Looks like she's going to walk it off.
"24 seconds left on the shot clock. Game clock. China should just work it around for one shot, one last shot."
Li Mong hits the deck again. And I think she's going to head to the line with Puerto Rico over the limit. So, yep, 2 shots confirmed. Quinones was the one who infringed there. Just put the body on Lee. First one's good. Renee Lee Mong won the MVP and was named in the All-Star 5 and the Olympic qualifying tournament back in 2020. Maybe is on track for repeating that here in her hometown of China. Gibson comes up for a seat with Jones coming back on. Zhang Ru also back in for China. And now a chance for Puerto Rico to end the quarter on a high. 10 seconds left. Girantes wants to pull the trigger.
Smart play by Girantes. She got her defender in the air, Zhang Ru, then came back, then stepped through and was fouled.
She's so agile, Aurelia Girantes. If it's not one way, it's the other, or it's the other way again. Zhang Ru, the one getting in her way this time.
A lot of subs called before since 24 seconds was left on the clock.
Both teams looking frequently to their bench. And now Vargas will replace Girantes. A solid opening half from Aurelia Girantes. 14 points and 3 rebounds. China now for the last shot. Lee Mong is in the right hands, but she didn't let it go in time. But it doesn't matter. China have started this game off the better team, and they take a 20-point lead into halftime on the back of 15 points from Lee Mong, 12 from Lee Yuru. And after 2 periods, it's China 54, leading Puerto Rico 34.
I've actually been impressed with Puerto Rico. You know, that was such a big game last night. They would have really felt it physically.
There's still a bit to go. Of course, it's the last game of the day for us, but there's still plenty to go on in Hungary and in Belgium and in Brazil. The action doesn't stop. And we're tipping off the second half here at Shanxi Provincial Gymnasium. It's China leading by 20 over Puerto Rico. Kwang Sujing's going to start off things. Into Wang. He's going to let off an early 3 and knock it down.
What a great screen that Hung Siu set for her. She raced to that spot. Defense got caught behind and just left it wide open for Wang Suyu.
Melendez, Rosado, Girantes, Quinones, and Benitez. It's good to see Benitez back out. We didn't see her much in that second period.
Interesting.
That's the sort of impact she can make. I know she missed it, but that's a good move. A good look-ahead pass to Zhang. Thank you to Lee Mong.
2 great baskets to start off this half, and smiles from both players.
Always great to see smiles. Always great. It's good when teams are having fun out there. Rosado. Quinones. Ooh, a deep 3 from Isalis Quinones. Didn't quite knock it down. Han, mismatch. Heading to the line.
See, such simple basketball. Just pushed it down the floor. Wang Suyu pushed it down the floor. Han Siu just ran down, got position right under the point of the rim or at the edge of the dunker spot, passed it in, turned around, shot it, finds herself at the foul line.
If you're Puerto Rico, are you happy you keep sending them to the line? Are you happy to make them earn their shots?
Well, I mean, it's tough when they've got such a height advantage. If you try and front them or push them out, then they're going to lob it over your head. So I think you've just got to try and do as best you can. You know, try doubling or tripling. But that basket was in a transition stage, so it would be really hard to try and set that double screen or double them.
Girantes now for Puerto Rico. Zhang with the rebound. To Wang. Quite quiet out there on the court. Huang into Han. There you go again, that move. This time she misses. Huang with the rebound, though, can rescue it. And what a start it's been to this third period for China. It forces an early timeout for Puerto Rico.
Well, I think the clear message was, as we talked about, let's get it inside. Let's try and have a presence inside. Let's use it to our advantage. Because the first few times down the floor, that's exactly what they did. And now Coach Batista wants to talk about that.
So a 9-0 run from China to start this third period. First it was Wang with an early look at 3. And then Li Meng with a look-ahead pass to Zhang, who was happy to collect it and convert the basket. And there was the smile that we saw from Li Meng. A bit for Coach Batista to talk about there, I'm sure. How do they combat the size and the might of this Chinese team?
We can see China's in a zone now, out of that timeout, mixing it up.
Quinones saw hard and thought better not. And gave it to Melendez and thought better, yes.
Great move by Melendez, off the ball on a ball movement, off a post feed, caught that in rhythm.
Li Meng, can she go 4 from 4? Not quite. Rosado pushing the pace. Quinones thought about the big 3. Benitez, she loves a 3. Quinones hits the deck. That was a foul on Li Meng.
That's her second foul, Li Meng.
Saw the offensive foul earlier on in the game from her. And Liao Zhang committing a foul. This is good for Puerto Rico if they can get to the line and try and edge closer to this score. Although they haven't been good from the line this tournament. Let's see what they've got here. Benitez, she's known for this. Can't drop it. Wang, only white jerseys ahead of her. And she turns it over. Good speed there from Puerto Rico to transition on defense. We know how fast Wang is. Loves to push the pace up the other end. It prompts a sub. Young Li Wei into the game. Zhang Guru's going to take a seat. 63 plays 37. Both teams already on the plane to Paris. Li Meng. Han up against the taller Quinones. It can't make the basket. Thought that was good there by Quinones. Girantes can't take full advantage.
A little back and forth for both teams for no reward at the moment.
I was just going to say the same thing. Han Shu, Li Meng, well, she can change things. Their go-to player, as you mentioned, Laurie. So is Huang Sujing. That's what she's capable of.
We knew that sooner or later somebody was going to nail that three-point shot. Huang Sujing, really good off-the-ball movement to catch it at the top of the key.
You know what, we talk about China needing to utilize their bigs, and we talk about Li and Han, but we can't forget the power of Huang Sujing. She's had a fantastic tournament and continuing it again tonight with 10 points.
That was great defense by Young Li Wei. Garantes was moving as we know she can, but this finish, no. As I say, she was moving really well, stayed with her, but was able to find a basket.
Melendez fouled on the rebound. But here was the look from Huang Sujing. Knocked it down from a very hard spot. Her second three of the game, hasn't missed. Jones, Puerto Rico put their three-point shooter back on the floor. To the chance of the crowd. Quinones, deep three attempt. She's gone for a few of those. None of them have come off. I think it's probably time to stop.
They've all fallen short, so maybe that's just a little bit of fatigue playing in.
Li Yuru, a very good collect and a very good finish.
Exactly. Got it up in the air. Left it up to Li Yuru to collect it, and that she did.
Girantes trying to burrow past Yang Li Wei. It didn't work.
Again, great defense by Yang Li Wei. She's doing a good job of keeping Girantes in front of her and just keeping that little bit of distance, causing her a bit of headaches.
Certainly been a good switch and matchup for China. And China just started to get momentum back on their side. We know Puerto Rico had a bit better of them in the second quarter. But China 14-3, outscoring them here in the third. Quinones this time elects to put the ball on the floor. Rosado, though, comes off a foot. China ball.
China seem a little more intent on defensively getting up and in a little bit more and just making Puerto Rico feel a little bit uncomfortable. They haven't been able to move the ball as quickly, and when they do, there's somebody right there and in front of them.
So it looks like we're going to go to a challenge here. A coach challenge by Puerto Rico confirmed. Our first of the tournament. Let's listen into the refs. So a good coach's challenge there by Coach Gerardo Batista. It reverses the call. It's now a Puerto Rico ball, last off Huang Sujing's foot.
You're only allowed one coach's challenge per game. Even if it was right, you don't get to get it back. So that's the challenge for Coach Batista. Gave him a chance to talk to their players. Both coaches had them on the sideline going through instructions. It's like an extra timeout, really.
So a fresh 14 here for Puerto Rico. Let's see if they can use it to full effect and pay back Coach Batista. But instead it gets blocked. Li Meng, oh my goodness, from the impossible angle.
What a finish by Li Meng at full speed.
She made that shot look easy. That is so hard to pull off. And you could say that for every one of Li Meng's shots. She just makes things look easy out there. So some subs for Puerto Rico. Alana Smith injected back into the game, as is Nanimar Vargas. India Pagan also going to enter the game in place of Quinones. So a new look for the time being for Puerto Rico. Li Wan back onto the floor to run the point for China. Young Li Wei to Huang. Back to the captain. Li Yuru. Li Wan. So the pass was sort of in the air.
Yeah, no, I like the look of that, and you know, it made the defenders come over and help, and it's still their ball. 3.3 seconds on the shot clock, so now they really are going to have to get it in the air just to catch and shoot.
They put Pan on for this. Lee, a loopy pass, has to drop it. And there's a foul called in amongst the rebounds.
Pagan just was pushing Li Yuru a little bit under the basket there on that offensive rebound. So China maintained the ball on the baseline.
Li Meng again trying to get under her defender and then drops it again!
Exact same move. Get her defender in the air and then sidestep for that three.
That is Li Meng's signature. 17 points, 3 from 4 from 3-point range. Jones' shot won't count. The foul was called. But how about Li Meng? Correction, she's up to 20 points. Having herself a game. Pan Junchi. Li Yuru reverses it in.
So that's what we were talking about at halftime. Let's have a bit more of an inside presence. Bigs work hard and their guards find a way to get them the ball. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now.
The great thing is they're continuing to position themselves well, both Han and Li, but so is young Li Wei.
Well, that's just such a great decision. The defenders were on the lane runners, and as she progressed the ball, nobody picked her up, and she was just able to pull up for a nice jump shot.
It opens up a 40-point buffer for China. Li Wan, eyes ahead. Li Meng underneath two defenders and gets the M1 to go. Li Meng is on fire.
Well, that's the thing. Somebody like a Li Meng, once she gets that feel, once she gets going, she wants the ball in her hands and she's going to create something and make it happen. And don't the fans love it?
I love the chants around the arena. Not one, but two defenders Li Meng had to contend with. And she's at the free throw line. Her 23rd point of the game. It's a tournament high for her. She has just been fantastic for China. But hey, isn't it great to see young Xu Yu on the floor, fan favorite here in Xi'an, the sister of young Li Wei. And replacing her as well. A bit of sister rivalry, perhaps. Nice shot there by Vargas. Breaks a solid run of scoring from China there.
Really nice look ahead by Li Meng to see her streaming teammate down there in the Yang Shuyu.
Li Yuru to Pan to Young. Listen to the crowd every time she gets it. Pan sets herself. Can't drop it. Gibson. We loved her rebounding last night. Hasn't quite been her day today. But she's still showing up. She's still hustling. She's finding an option here in offense.
Alana Smith is somebody else that's done a good job on the court, given her opportunities with Rosado sitting. And there we go, on cue, a nice little pull-up jump shot.
Very good work by Alana Smith. I have to agree, she's been fantastic in Rosado's absence. Rosado, the 37-year-old. Li Meng, Li Yuru, strong hands on the rebound. Li Yuan, this is a deep triple from the car park!
Little nod of her head.
Like, yeah, girl, I know that was dropping. Love the three-point shooting from China in this game. And they've been able to capitalize off the crowd noise as well. 10 from 19, a very impressive clip.
Well, yes, they're shooting it at 53% right now. So, and the roar of the crowd for Li Meng as she steps off the court.
So Gibson at the free throw line. She's yet to score this game. Hasn't attempted a two-pointer or a three-pointer. And she's able to knock down the second.
I don't believe Yang Shuyu has scored a point yet this tournament, has she?
I think you'll hear it if you do.
Oh, well, that's what I want to prepare for, because I hope she does.
Oh, yes! Yang Shuyu, a fan favorite, gets on the board for the first time here in Xi'an. We know her started here. She's a big social media fan favorite, playing for Guangdong here in China. She's an ambassador for Prada as well, if you don't mind you. Li Yuru wants a piece of it, and she gets it.
Well, their shooting form has continued to impress this game. It's one thing to be wide open, but you do have to nail those shots, and they've done a great job.
Li Yuru up to 16 points and 11 rebounds, a double-double for the second time this tournament. Of course, spends her time with Besiktas in Turkey and the Chicago Sky in the WNBA over in the USA. Bounce pass to Li Yuan. Under a minute left now. Luo on the floor. Young, can she go back to back? Not quite. Vargas just completed it. To Smith, to Vargas. A nice drive. Jeez, it deserved to finish.
Well, it was a good drive. She recognized she had better foot speed.
And here she is again on defense. Didn't play last night, Narimar Vargas, so she's feeling refreshed. Pagan. Couldn't quite reach high enough for that basket. And there's 5 seconds left. The crowd rise in anticipation. Li Yuan can't quite beat the buzzer. But a great third period from the Chinese team. They outscored Puerto Rico 33 points to 8. Puerto Rico just weren't able to continue on for a really positive second period. And at the end of the third quarter, it's China 87, leading Puerto Rico 42.
Well, I think Puerto Rico found, it's hard to defend. And Hollingshed was on our, so she sat for two and a half quarters. We'll see how she goes in this last quarter. Last quarter of the tournament.
Oh, that's sad, but 87-42, China leading the way. They want to finish off this tournament on a high note. celebrate long into the night with their fans. Hollingshed on the 4 fouls put up the shot. Lee Yuan and Lee Yuru share it around. Yang Shuyu stepping back on Girantes. The crowd's riling her up, telling her to go for it. And she does. And Luo's there to pick up the pieces.
I think they really wanted her to shoot a 3.
Yeah. Not that 2 stuff. We want a 3. And now they come to a hush as Rosado brings the ball down the floor. Benitez again starting. But again, if the trend continues, we're likely not to see her for the rest of the term when she comes off. Li Yuan using her pace to get around Pamela Rosado.
Just a nice little hesitation and change of pace. Put on the jets. Got Brown Rosado and was able to finish strongly.
Such a quick first step from Li Yuan. Great hesitation. Girantes always carries the ball under her arm and goes hard. And they have another chance here, Puerto Rico, through Rosado. Lee up against the taller Quiroles, got the rebound. And then Hollingshed off and running on the other end. Gets herself a bucket.
Well, she has sat for a while, so she should have the legs, and she did. She passed all the defenders and went straight to the basket.
4 fouls for Hollingshed. 3 points for the game. 91 plays 44.
It's great to see all the players have hit the court. You know, everybody puts in the same amount of time at training, and so for players that get less minutes, this is just such an ideal opportunity. They're playing in front of a great crowd. Whether you're from Puerto Rico or China, it's always good to play in front of an appreciative crowd.
Certainly right. And they'll be hoping to celebrate a win and a trip to Paris. Yang Shuyu! We've been calling for it. The crowd's been calling for it, and she's delivered.
A great decision. Her defender went under that pick and roll, and so she just very calmly read the defense and stopped and propped.
Girantes responds immediately.
Well, I think Girantes is going, okay, I've got a rookie on me. I'm going to make sure I take advantage of this and try and see how she can defend me.
Pan Junchi, Luo Xinyu, Pan. Oh, what a spin! Couldn't get the finish. Li Yuru, speaking of spinning, still couldn't get the finish. But man, I like what these bigs are doing. Let's see how Rosado can respond for Puerto Rico. You can hear the calls of patience, patience from Coach Batista. And it pays off. Girantes heading to the line.
Well, Girantes has a high IQ, so she recognizes when that you can see her almost initiating that contact so she can control the contact. So Aurelia Girantes at the free throw line. That's her 17th point for the game. She's the only Puerto Rico player in double figures. She's gone 6 from 17 from the field, 3 rebounds, and knocks down both of those free throws. And that's really about what she's averaging for the other 2 games, 18 points. So I think she'll end up with a little bit more in this game by the time it ends.
Yep, averaging 9 points across the first 2 games.
They're really utilizing that flare screen well. The defenders are tending to go under it, so they're quite happy to stop and shoot that 3.
So they should be. It's been dropping beautifully for China. Rosado, Hollingshed. She gets fouled. So a chance for China to get over the 100-point mark as well. Haven't seen that this tournament. Always love a good offensive display.
I'm sure the fans would love that as well.
Oh, nice step back from Girantes off one leg. She's looked good in this last couple of minutes, Aurelia Girantes. But tell you what, so has the Chinese team. And Yang Shuyu's had some nice moments, although she'll want to take that one back.
Well, Puerto Rico in that case, they were just throwing something a little bit different. They were sort of trying to double team and force the Chinese team to make some decisions in what they were passing. It really, almost what you'd say, junking it up a little bit on defense.
Girantes up against Young. 20-piece for Aurelia. Now 22. She has turned it on this fourth period.
Well, that was definitely a little bit of razzle-dazzle from Girantes.
So good sides here from Puerto Rico. They've outscored China 10 points to 7, although Lee can change things. Basket won't count. Offensive foul again. So that's back-to-back.
You can see that exact same thing. There were 3 people sort of hunting the ball down at the center line and forcing into just a little bit of a chaotic situation for China and making them have to think about things.
So the crowd trying to get them out of trouble. It's been an 8-0 run from Puerto Rico, and all 8 of those points have been scored by Aurelia Girantes. So China over the limit. Puerto Rico are going to get some shots, and this has been a really positive start to the fourth quarter for them.
Well, it certainly has. There's no question they are playing this game out.
Could have easily thrown in the towel, could have sat some players early on, but instead, you know, they showed a sign of intent. They brought Hollingshed on. They could have just let her sit for the whole game and not worry about it, but they brought her on. They want to keep it going. They're still rotating. Girantes still out there, Benitez still out there, Quinones, all of their big names still playing a part. And there they are, pressing hard. Law finds a bit of space though. Lee finds a rebound. They share it around. Oh, beautiful cut from Pan.
Really good slipping of the screen. The defenders weren't ready for that at all.
Rosado to Benitez. Here's Girantes. 22 points. Oh, beautiful. And the foul to come.
Well, you can't speak highly enough of Girantes and the move she's making on the floor right now. She's really looking to handle that ball, and you can see the outstretched arms and her eyes on the target.
She has had a fine tournament. Aurelia Girantes converts the three-point play. Like we said, she averages 9 points, but tonight she's up to 24. Luo, Lee Yuru. Just has to be stagnant for a bit. Oh, then steps back. Rosado with the rebound. Girantes off and running. Steps back herself. Why not?
Why not is exactly right, but great running. Woo! Xin Yu sprinted the floor, caught that in full stretch, was able to finish and goes to the line.
What excellent pace from Law. The crowd definitely showing their appreciation, and of course Lee was the one to find her. She has been rapid with her passes this tournament. Her 9th assist for the game to go with 7 points. And now Luo can get her 5th if she's good enough to convert from the free throw line.
Well, one more point to go, Julia.
They edge closer. Jones back on for Puerto Rico. That's a good move from Coach Batista. Bring on your three-point shooter. See what she's got left. Pulls up for a long two instead and drops it.
Well, there's some really positive things happening for Puerto Rico in this last quarter. They're still going at it hard. They're looking at the shots. A lot of one-on-one action. But, you know, if that's the way they're getting it done, then so be it.
So Brianna Jones becomes the second player to head into double figures for Puerto Rico. 11 points. Young. Can she bring up the ton? Lee Wan. Can she give off another dime? Instead goes herself. Good rebound, Luo. Lee, again offensive rebound. Goes herself with some space. And there it is. 100 points for China.
It's sort of a good thing that Lee Uru, she was working so hard getting rebounds for others that she was the one that made that basket to finish it off to the 100.
Quinones responds on the other end. Lee Uru rockets up to 20 points and 21 rebounds, Laurie.
Wow.
That's the highest rebound tally for this tournament by far. Girantes stepping around, getting fouled.
Well, with Lee Mong sitting on the bench at 23 points, Girantes is at now 25 points and leads the game in all scoring.
And Puerto Rico now going to clear their bench. So Roma, Vargas, Smith, all heading on. Hollingshen's going to take a seat. Girantes remaining out there. Gibson waiting to get her off the floor. Good 3 minutes, a good chance here in 3 minutes for those bench players to hustle. Confirmation of that double-double from Lee Uru.
What
20
a great
points, 21 rebounds.
Sorry, what a great game from Girantes as she steps off the court. Great tournament for her, and I'm sure we'll see lots of her when we see the Puerto Rican team at Paris.
A tournament high, 27 points for Aurelia Girantes. That's amongst all players, mind you. 27 points in a losing team. A very impressive effort.
As is China scoring 101 points, I might add.
Absolutely. Haven't seen that yet for this tournament.
Four players in double figures. Everybody hitting the score sheet. And they'll need that game. They'll want to wipe off, well, learn from the game against France moving forward. And, you know, I was thinking about it after the game before coming to today's game, and you know, it's not such a bad thing. It's sort of a reality check, and they can take lots of things out of that game and learn from it, how we have to change, what we have to do to beat somebody like France, whether it's defensively, whether it's offensively. So, you know, you look at those things and you go, at least they qualified, nothing happened, nothing changed there, and then today they put on a great performance.
It's that old thing in sport. You don't want to be too good leading into such a big moment, such a big tournament. It's like a team going on an unbeaten regular season and then wanting to lose one before finals to get the monkey off the back. Same thing here. But Lee Yuru is doing just that. She is on fire. Gets herself past 20 points now. To go with, of course, those 21 boards. Tournament highs all over the floor from both teams. Points for Girantes, rebounds for Lee.
Well, that instance, Vargas really needed to just pass it out. You don't have a chance against the taller Lee Uru.
Here she is again, up against the smaller Roma. Another rebound. This time kicks it out to Pun. China ball. Minute 46 left. We know China already on that plane to Paris. So too is Puerto Rico. There's a lot at stake around the world in the other tournaments, of course. Australia were the most recent team to qualify in Brazil. Germany and Serbia still fighting for the last spot there. But how about that one in Hungary, Laurie?
Oh my goodness, that is still everything up for grabs. That'll start in a few hours' time, but Canada, Hungary, Japan, and Spain, all with one win, one loss, going into the last day of the tournament. How exciting is that?
Oh, it's exactly what you want as a fan, as a broadcaster, as a, I don't know about a player maybe, but definitely from the cheap seats here, we love to see that. And the timeout is called in the fourth period by Puerto Rico. A minute 36 left. It's been a really fantastic quarter by them. They've outscored China 23 points to 16, and they can hold their head high when they head home, most likely tomorrow.
Well, this is the most they've scored out of any game this tournament. Right now, and they're on 65 points, so they'll be pretty happy about that.
A bit of a wave going around the stadium. You can hear the noise behind us. You can see the game leaders for Puerto Rico. Girantes with 27 points, Rosado with 4 assists, and Quinones with 4 rebounds. But it really has been the Arena Girantes show. It's going to be pretty hard to pick a TCL player of the game. You think Liu Ru gets it with China winning, but Girantes has put in a great performance as well.
Oh, I'm just glad we don't have to pick it, because it's great to see some standout performances. But I have to say, Li Yuan, she's been facilitating so many of Liu Ru's passes out there and catches that I'd be giving a lot of credit to her as well.
It's the second time she's hit more than 10 assists. She had 11 against New Zealand on Thursday, and now the 10 tonight, plus the 7 points. You'd love her to get double figures as well, a nice little double-double to finish off her tournament. As we head into the last 90 seconds, not just of this game, but the Olympic qualifying tournament here in China. It's been a fantastic one. Alana Smith gets the roll. She's been real positive for Puerto Rico, not just tonight, but the whole tournament. Here's Lee. Can she hit that triple? Another rebound for Li Yuru. Triple teamed. Jump ball. Good hustle there for Puerto Rico.
Well, that's really all they can do when she gets that ball inside. They can double, they can triple, they can make it hard for her to score, make it hard for her to try and pass out to her perimeter players, and that's exactly what happened in that instance.
So Pang Junchi to inbound. Li Yuan. Yang Shuyu. So 103 playing 67. 50 seconds left. Puerto Rico second foul of the quarter. Li Yuan. Young puts it on the deck, and then Roma hits the deck. Oh, sorry, Vargas hits the deck. Jones hits the deck. These players are fighting right until the end on both teams. As we head into the last 43 seconds.
Another jump ball was called, so it's the possession arrows now with Puerto Rico.
See if they can get a couple more baskets to finish off their night. Didn't quite go their way, but a really good finish to this game. 25 points to 16 in this fourth period so far. Luo to Lee. And they can run the shot clock down here and try to make use of their last seconds here on the floor in front of their home fans. And that's exactly what Lee does.
That was a great call. That flare screen's been working for them all night when they flare, and that time they used the screen and curled around straight to the basket.
11th time for Li Yuan. Smith banks it in for one last shot. The crowd counts them down. China happy to just bounce it out. And Li Meng puts her hands up in celebration. because China celebrate their 10th Olympics berth in style. They get the win over Puerto Rico on their home floor to go 2-1 in the tournament. Li Meng thanking the referees and celebrating what was a big night, not only for herself, but for her team. Hugs all around. It's China